when my child, when my oldest son was born, I remember the nurse coming in checking him, and I remember her saying, "You poor, poor baby. You fought and you fought to make your way into this cold, cold world." And it was like a trigger. I don't know what happened, but I was just overcome with grief at that very moment she said that. She wasn't saying it to be mean, but it triggered something in me, and I just cried, and I couldn't stop crying. I went in the bathroom. I couldn't stop crying for about 15 minutes. It took me that long to get myself together. And I knew I was in trouble. And I said, I need to see a therapist. And I made an appointment 2 weeks later. And that's when I found out I was clinically depressed. I figured something was wrong with me my whole life because I've always been a loner. I always kept to myself. I would always be sad, but I thought I was just normal, because I was kind of an awkward kid. I was always off to myself, and they would always make fun of me. I was a fat kid, so I always got the fat jokes. But I thought it was just a normal part of life. Even in college, man, I went through a bout of depression. I didn't even realize what it was. I went a whole month without going to class, just laying in my apartment. I didn't go to class for a month. Somehow I passed all my classes, but I didn't go to class for a whole month. All I did was lay around, and nobody missed me. Nobody came to check on me. That's the damnedest thing. Nobody came to check on me. So fast forward to me moving away after college, and my son was born. And when that happened, I knew I was in trouble. So I got help. I was 28 years old. I got help. And I turned 50 next month. I've been seeing a therapist off and on since then. 22 years of therapy. But the birth of my oldest child is what motivated me to get help. I was determined I was not going to pass my problems on to another generation. So I went out and I did something about it. And 10 years later, I found out that I was bipolar. I wasn't just clinically depressed. I was bipolar type 2. And as a child, I was diagnosed as having hyperactivity, attention deficit. And people that have that as children, they know one of three things happen. They grow out of it. They become adults with ADHD. Then there's the third group, which happened to be me, unfortunately. You become bipolar. And that's what happened. So I was dealing with something I didn't even know I had all those years. I wish I could go back in time to those younger years. It would have made things a lot easier to cope with had I known I was bipolar and not just sad all the time. And I was out here feeding my depression. I was an emotional eater. So when I got depressed, I ate. The more I ate, the more weight I gained. The more weight I gained, the more depressed I got, and I continued to eat. So it was just a vicious cycle. And either that or either I was smoking. Sometimes I was smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. In my younger days in college, I was drowning my sorrows in beer. Every weekend I was drinking. I wasn't drinking to be a social drinking partier. I was drinking because I was sad. It numbed me. I no longer drink. So I had a gastric bypass 3 years ago, so my crutch, which was food, was taken away. Um, I had to face myself. I had to face my own demons. I had to look myself in the eye in the mirror. No more food. I wasn't doing no alcohol. I had to face me in the mirror and deal with my own issues. And it's been hard, but it's been very therapeutic. I think that's why acting is so helpful for me. Acting is therapy. I would be into a character, and I wouldn't have to deal with myself. I would just be that character. It was an escape from the torment. Words hit hard as a fist, man. Words hit hard as a fist. Words hit hard as a fist. Verbal abuse is far worse than physical abuse. I could take you hitting me all day, but what you say to me stays up here. And if you're a person that battles mental health issues, it magnifies everything. It hurts. It hurts. But the therapy helps with those things. Don't be ashamed to get help. We all have our problems and our battles that we face. There's no shame in getting help. You're not alone, man. There's people out there just like me who have things that we fight every day. Don't be ashamed. Go get the help you need. Get well. Depression is very real. It's a battle for your mind, for your sanity. It's a silent battle. I don't care how many people you got around you, or how many people claim that they in your corner, they'll be there for you, support you. It's something you face by yourself. You're facing your inner demons all by yourself. You're crying yourself to sleep at night. You're up walking at night if you can't sleep. You're restless. You're struggling. And there's this stigma that's placed on mental health issues that I am going to do my part to make sure it goes away. There's no shame in having a mental health issue. Get the help you need, whatever it is, medication, therapy, psychiatrist, psychologist. Do what you have to do to be healthy and be whole. There's no shame. There's 23 veterans a day commit suicide because of post-traumatic stress and depression. Something needs to be done about that. There are people committing suicide because they live in silent shame, and it's nothing to be ashamed of because you're depressed, you're hurting. If you got a toothache, you go to the dentist. If your body's hurt, you got a cold, you go to the doctor. Same thing. If you're sad, you're struggling, go see a doctor. Get help. Don't be ashamed. I'm Darryl Moore, and I have bipolar 2 disorder, and I'm not ashamed. I see a therapist, I take meds, and I did some lifestyle changes.